Welcome to the Furry 360 video by Bunchy Skunk, featuring furries and other costume characters and other random events. Enjoy!
How did you enjoy the Tim Hortons like they have?
Okay,
I see you've been enjoying it as well.
so this is the charity portion of the show. And what that means is if you want us to do anything funny, you need to put stuff in this bag. You can put it up here, you can put it in the bag, we might pass it, thank you. You might pass it round. The more we get in there, the funnier it will be. If we don't get a lot of money, we're just going to sit here like, it's cloudy today.
Oh, yes, I've seen it.
I saw the lake, it's full of water.
Yes, and that water is wet.
It is.
Yes, revelation, the water is wet.
But I can't have it on stage, unfortunately. I can take it to the room after, but I will. Oh, it's mineral water for afterward. Thank you so much. Ah, my favorite mineral water. Oh, from Germany. The water's from Germany.
It's so polite. It's so polite to be putting it here. You are all such children. Thank you very much.
Is it now?
What else? I could not help but notice you enjoy the cold water to bring that
There's a pot of it back there if you've been drinking in that.
There's a pot of Tim Hortons.
In fact, behind the stage.
I would like Canadian this for one moment. I thought you
Oh, okay. After Amplified, yes. Oh, yeah. So, once again, if we get lots of money for the doggies, and we will be giving this doesn't go to the bar tab. I've already got that mineral water I have. Yeah. If I was drinking wine on stage, it would be a German Riesling Mosel Valley, no older than 3 years. But,
In a maroon.
is it still warm?
I think it is still on my brother. Press part right here, which is what it's squished in. I can see why this is basically like a jug.
It is. Let's bring the chair closer. Because I wanted to tell you something. Don't sit there. There's a bottle of mineral water on the chair. Now you can sit there. Is anybody else getting turned on by this? Now, Tien, I just wanted to say, I got you a present.
I have a present.
You have a present. You're right.
What? I know you. Well, I thought present was for children, and I'm by no means a child. But what? Pray tell, what present is this? I wonder. It's like dun dun dun. What present?
Have a seat. Have a seat.
What in what seat?
That's it. That's it.
Hold on.
I was going to warn you, it's a little deep. Now, I bought this in the dealer's room. I saw this and I thought, Tianlong, even a mighty, grumpy celestial dragon, every once in a while needs something soft and cute to cuddle.
You, right?
Don't you need something soft and cute to cuddle?
I do not need anything soft and cute at all. I am a mighty celestial dragon.
Then sit your mighty celestial self down so I can give you your present.
All right.
Sit down.
So,
Sit down. Now,
this is for the doggies.
yes, for the dog. Cover your eyes. Cover your eyes.
All right.
This is a surprise. Okay.
I bet you as soon as I do
Okay.
this, he's
All right, everybody. We want to hear. Okay. Keep your eyes covered. We want to hear a nice aww.
I've not seen anything.
Okay. Uncover your eyes, Tien.
You're not really covering only one.
Isn't he adorable?
I mean, yes, of course. That was a very, very thoughtful gift. I shall treasure it and cherish it as long as I live, which probably won't be too much longer if this performance is this good. But, wait a minute!
What? What's wrong? It's one of the symbols of this mighty land.
Well, the mighty,
It's from Manitoba.
did not look very Manitoban. I thought they were more rugged like that.
Well, okay, here, look at me, little sweet and everything.
Yes, he is very, very sweet. Oh,
There's something of an in-joke here.
do we want to tell them they are all still young? They might not...
They put enough money in here. Maybe we can tell them this one.
All right, we'll tell them this one, shall I?
Incidentally, I couldn't help noticing
What is that? Oh,
this.
the Monopoly money?
This here.
What?
Her Majesty has been on the throne since before I was born, since my mother was a little girl.
Hmm.
She's not aging. Do you notice she ages on the money? In 50 years, she's still going to be on the throne. Charles will be dead. There's going to be a desiccated skeleton on your $20 bill.
I'll go to Canada, sure,
Yep.
each minute and whatnot.
Well, we watched this amazing movie called Yoga Hosers.
Yes, you're
And it was just a romp. It was tons of fun.
And if you're from Manitoba, you'd probably appreciate it even more.
And we discovered that it was part of a series. There was another movie that had been made, like a prequel to this. And we loved Yoga Hosers so much, we just wanted to watch this movie. It's called Tusk. Someone has seen it. You know, I like scary movies. I like bad movies. I like movies that are like, you know, very, psychological.
Scarily bad, pretty much.
This movie transcended all that. This movie was viscerally distressing. It got to the point that, have a seat, right here. We're sitting on the sofa at my place, and we turned it off, and we just kind of looked at each other.
I believe it was something like, oh my God!
It was. But we turned it off, and we're like, oh, we can't watch the rest of this. But then we won't know what happened. We had to watch it. We had to know. And throughout the rest of the movie, we're like, oh my God, oh Jesus, God, God, they went there, okay.
Well, honestly, it was the $4.99 that I didn't want to waste.
It was, yes, we paid for
Did
it.
I just state my ignorance?
You did.
I apologize. I had to remember that. Well, of course, as the guest of Uncle Kage back in his current territory of North Carolina, I had to be the gracious movie host, which basically the tacit rule being is if you are the one that recommends the movie, you're the one that's supposed to have the most, guts to go through it, especially in the likes of Kevin Smith. And if you're not familiar with Kevin Smith's style of movies, well, I hate to refer you to it, but go to his Twitter page and look at the flyer. Wait, hold on.
No, we don't recommend that.
If there are children here with Twitters, I suggest that you do not look at your Twitter bio. Of course, ask a parent for permission.
Incidentally, if anybody still would like to put some money for this, again, it ain't for us, it's for the doggies, but you're too shy to get up or you're inebriated or something, do us a favor there, Fukuya. Would you take this?
There's so much
Thank
Monopoly
you.
money.
Do like Sunday morning, just kind of pass it round.
Oh, yes.
If anybody has any
I
extra,
feel like we're missing a gospel here for
I think
something.
we are.
Yes.
But why don't you sing Deep River for us?
The deep river is deep and maple leaves and hockey sticks. Oh, wait,
The Canadian version, yes, Canadian gospel.
version of the deep river.
We'll take greenbacks, yeah.
Oh, of course we take greenbacks, yes. After all, it's basically like, what, $1 greenback is 100 here.
Now, make sure I get that hat back. That's how I look, That's my version of monocle glare.
You haven't actually seen the Canadian Tire money thrown around here.
What?
The Canadian Tire money.
Isn't that what that is?
That's the Monopoly money.
I thought the green one was the Canadian Tire one.
It's essentially a mythical item as of this point. It's like, basically, if you have Canadian Tire money, your authenticity as a Canadian cannot be questioned. And,
Really?
Did you know that they love using Canadian Tire money for tips in America? If you fly into Pittsburgh Airport, for those of you that, for example, have been to Anthrocon, you may remember that there is a giant Tyrannosaurus Rex skeleton in the Pittsburgh Airport, and inside there you will frequently find lots of Canadian Tire dollars that are worth absolutely dog crap to Americans.
Boy, aren't you guys generous? Oh, aren't you? Yes, oh boy, yes you are.
No, we're not generous, we're just sorry. Actually, no, we're not sorry. We're optimistic.
Yes, yes. We'll keep this here in case anybody else wants to,
Well, I mean, we are just two old grumps on stage enjoying our Timmy hose and watching the hockey game. Actually, is there a hockey game on tonight? I don't
I
think
don't
so.
know.
I don't know. My Canadianness has not
What is Toronto versus Phoenix?
Blackhawks!
What?
Blackhawks, they're staying here.
Oh, that's right, the Blackhawks are here.
Yes, Blackhawks.
Are any members of the Chicago Blackhawks by any chance within earshot?
Yes, you are all great and stuff. Enjoy your maple syrup and hockey trees. What is it? Maple trees and hockey syrup.
Oh, I wonder why. Maybe we should tell them the story of when the baseball teams used to stay at Emperorcon.
That would be your department. Go on.
Shall I?
Yeah.
Do we have enough? I guess we do. By the way, if anybody is in the audience who is under the age of reason or who is of a sensitive nature, the language that is going to follow is a little brusque, but it is historical facts, so I do apologize in advance. If there are any children in here, and if they laugh at what I say, it ain't my fault. There was the year.
And if there are any artists in here, now's a good time to break up your sketchbooks.
Yes. Major League Baseball used to stay at the Westin in Pittsburgh, which is where Anthrocon is headquartered. That was interesting the first couple of years. I remember the Milwaukee Brewers were there. They got their asses handed to them by the Pittsburgh Pirates the next day. Their announcer on the radio called out Anthrocon and blamed the loss on the Furries, saying that the Furries were up all night howling and the boys got no sleep.
Getting the first baseman third maybe is totally different. But yes, I saw the first baseman. He most definitely was enjoying himself. That is a great lie.
For about 4 years running, the away team stayed at the Westin during Anthrocon, and they always got their asses handed to them by the Pirates. And I was starting to think, maybe I should get together with the Pirates and say, we could keep this going. But it all came to an end the year the New York Yankees showed up. I was not aware that the New York Yankees are considered a target of terrorism because they're America's team, right? They showed up, and whereas none of the other teams had a problem, the Yankees showed up, their security chief came in and saw this lobby full of people with their faces covered, and being from New York, he walked in and said, "The fuck?" Now, if you do not speak New York, I will translate for you. What the man said was, "Goodness gracious, what is with all these people wearing costumes?" He turned to a second and said, "No, the fuck?" That means, do you also see these people wearing costumes? He went immediately to the hotel manager and said, "Hey, the fuck?" Which means, "Excuse me, we cannot have the Yankees come through here with people's faces covered." I didn't know any of this until my security chief came to me and said, "The hotel has asked us to clear all the furries out of the lobby." Now, you guys know that probably wouldn't go over well. If I were to send people out and say, "Gee, all the furries have to get out of the lobby," there would be a riot. Now, I am fortunately blessed with the opportunity to think on my feet. That's what being a comic does for you. There's also a certain level of Irish heritage, and I had inherited the blarney. The security chief said, "What are we going to do?" I said, "Okay, do this. I want you to get as many staff members as you can. Start spreading the rumor that Uncle Kage is drunk and out of control up in the ballroom on the second floor and telling stories the board of directors ordered him not to. Everybody went charging up from the lobby into the ballroom on the second floor. The security chief came and said, okay, it worked, but what are we going to do now? I said, easy, get me a bottle. So I started chugging. And I started telling stories the board of directors didn't want me to tell. And after some time, I saw my security chief in the back gave me a high sign. And at that point, I relented. A little unsteadily, I said, ladies and gentlemen, I have to apologize to all of you. There was subterfuge here. We actually kind of tricked you into coming up here, and I explained why. I said, this was something the hotel asked us to do. It was a security matter. I thank you very much for your cooperation. I hope it was worth it. I'll keep going if you want me to. And I also discovered something about myself. I can sober up really quick when I'm mad. Because I had downed an entire 1.5-liter bottle of cheap-ass white Zinfandel, and I was drooling on myself and stumbling and staggering, but when I left that room, I went down to the front desk and said, I want to speak to the evening manager right now. Just put the hat on. Well, I went back. It was a lady manager. I didn't have a hat then. It's backwards. It's backwards. It's backwards.
I'm sorry.
You almost got it. Turn it over.
I'm going to bite your noodle. Anyway, do I look intimidating?
Come on.
Like my buddy said. Great. Charlie got it.
Stanley, this is another fine mess you've got in this. Nobody under 30 knows what the hell I'm talking about. Anyway, thank you, miss. I said to the night manager, okay, I did this tonight because you asked me to. I did it for you, but I'm not doing it again. My people paid for this hotel. We're paying you more than they are. That's my lobby, and my people can use it. The Yankees got a problem with that, they can go to the damn kitchen. She says, yes, okay. She said, yes, okay. So, I had my security chief on standby. Now, if you've not been to Amphicon, my security chief is a little Cajun man named Rene Gobin. He's about this high, looks like Santa Claus. He's 3 feet in every direction. Got a big bushy white beard, twinkle in his eye, rosy cheeks.
Hey, are you describing me?
Yeah, that's right.
Oh.
How'd you know? That's my security chief.
You're describing 3 feet in every direction. If I remember correctly, that is a bow or
Yes.
something.
Rennie is basically Santa Claus in the off-season. I mean, you look at him, it's like, dude, that's freaking Santa Claus. So little Santa Claus is down there with his twinkly eye and his rosy cheeks. And the Yankee security chief came in and saw the furry and said, the fuck? Which in New York translates to, my goodness, I was certain I asked them to have these people out of here. So he went up to Renegade and he said, hey, the fuck? Which means, excuse me, are you the man in charge? And Rennie said, yes, I am, as a matter of fact. And Rennie said, I understand that you have security concerns. My team is standing by to assist you, but these folk are not going to be leaving the lobby because they're paying hotel guests. Now, the security chief, realizing that Rennie is not from New York, he switched into English. And he said, you got to get these people out of this lobby right now. Okay, almost English, right? You got to get these people out of this lobby right now. And Rennie said, well, I do appreciate your position, sir, but I'm not going to do that. As I said, these are paying hotel guests, and we will assist you in any way we can. And the guy drew himself up, New York, and he said, you know, well, how do you know I used to be a cop? And little Santa Claus said, oh, that's nice. U.S. Army Airborne Ranger, 3 tours in Vietnam, bring him. That's why he's my security chief.
And I don't think these fine folk know about an incident where a conflicting party at a hotel with furries actually started to get along with them, albeit not without conflict. Do you remember Indy FurCon?
Vaguely.
Oh, well, yes, that is true. Indy
Is anybody
FurCon.
here offended by stories that involve extreme drunkenness?
Yes, very
Go
well.
on, go on.
I walked into this room and I did not smell a single shred of responsibility. So good on you.
By the way, if anybody just walked in,
Yes, there's this little,
charity.
yes, there's this little bag in the front over here. This will help doggos become doggos. Or what was it that we described them as earlier?
Floor potatoes.
Floor potatoes, yes.
Yes.
We have the after the track floor potato adoption.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, they are much more floor potatoes. But I digress. What was I talking about
Now
again?
you're talking about Indy FurCon and the other group.
Yes, Indy FurCon, a quaint little convention in Indianapolis, Indiana. Of course, as you can see by the names, they're not very creative people. But, of course, they are very fun as well. They know how to have a good time. Uncle Kage and myself, we are. Where do you just be off?
I'm over here. I'm not sneaking out with you.
Touching my Tim Hortons? Hey, sort up, you loser.
Is that an insult? I can't tell.
Yeah,
Did you just say sod off you hooser to me?
Yes, buddy.
Du laidon. You were telling us anybody speak Cantonese? Good.
Yes, because translated that means I very much enjoy the noodles on your face.
So anyway, Indy FurCon.
Indy FurCon used to be in a similar situation. I have to sort of wrap my lips around this. I hope there are no children in
Is
here.
anybody else getting into it? That good hides a multitude of sins.
Ah,
You
yes,
were-
I was
sorry.
as I continue shoving this in my mouth. Goodness, this tastes like irresponsibility. So that was the Tim Hortons. But yes, so Indy FurCon, basically 1 year they were sharing the hotel with some, well, luminary guests. Perhaps less than luminary. They were sharing it with a frat.
Yeah.
And this frat,
Frat boys.
yes, frat boys, yes, the good old Alpha Pi, Sigma, Delta, Omega Pi,
Yep.
more pies.
Alpha Sigma Sigma.
Alpha Sigma Sigma, yes, exactly. Yes, don't think about it too much. Anyhow, they were sharing the hotel with this group of boys, and well, there seemed to be this sort of, this sort of tension that was unspoken. They were, sort of avoiding each other in the lobby, avoiding all eye contact if possible, even wearing gas masks so they didn't breathe the same air particles. Essentially, it was, a very, very strange situation where one side of the lobby you've got these, big Olympic rower-sized, Calvin Klein model frat boys, and the other side you have this big adorable dragon.
Yeah.
Which would not be me, of course. But, well, no, I'm not a big adorable dragon, but anyhow.
Yes, you are.
No, well, anyhow, we basically got along in peace, more or less, until one particular incident. Oh, yeah. We had a very lovely hotel manager. She basically was the life of the hotel, where everything else was sort of just these standard monotonous, hotel customer service droning on and on. This lady was the coloring on their pages, so to speak.
Okay, don't say it then. She was a lady of what we call African American. Here I can say that. I can't say that right in front. What was her name again?
I don't
Like what? Is anybody there?
What? This is
It was like,
her name was Tanya.
yes, Tanya.
Tanya.
How could we forget Tanya?
Tanya. I could not forget Tanya's face easily. Face. Yes, her facial expressions is what I meant to say.
Yes.
I could not forget her face or her facial expressions easily, especially in the events that occurred next. So what happened was an attendee had been waiting for an elevator, as many people at Epicon would know that experience. Well, I'm just simply speaking
I
the
am
truth.
happily ignoring it, pretending I didn't.
So they were happily waiting for an elevator, and the elevator door opened. What are you doing?
Itch.
Oh, yes, of course, you have to itch. The elevator door opened, and, well, basically it was filled with the frat boys, and the frat frat boys being, well, all fratty and fratnish, and what other, you know, Grotesque, yes, they were being very grotesque. And they all stood there with their Olympic oversized bodies, you know, looking at the puny, neat little congoers puffing out their pectorals, and they were all like, oh yes, you're not getting on this elevator. Oh yes, you know, we're the frat boys, yes, we are Alpha Sigma Sigma, and we are in this elevator, and yes, very, very cool stuff. And one of them happened to be so brazen as to make the comment, you ain't getting on this bus, Rosa Banks. Parks. Was American. Rosa Parks. And
Look it up.
yes, and the elevator door closed. And of course the convention attendee, feeling a little bit, well, miffed to say the least, went to our convention operations and relayed their experience. At which time, when our operations lead heard it, had immediately contacted our hotel manager, also known as Tanya. Now Tanya, of course, the sweet little harmless lady that she is, such a exemplar of, you know, just etiquette, I would say. Walked into convention operations and was all, you know, customer liaison, customer service, you know, how may I help you? I hope you're having a wonderful convention. And on the convention team, they essentially started relaying the story, and she was standing there nodding, and she had this wide grin on her face, and she was, you know, being very, very professional, until they read that quote back to her.
Yes, you ain't getting on this bus, Rosa Parks. Can I tell them what she said, or do you want to tell them?
You go ahead, yeah, I think you have the better voice.
Never upset a black one.
Tanya said, oh, hell no!
And ran out of the room. The next thing that we know happened was that she had contacted the what would they call it in a frat? You know, like the big boss, you know,
The
head
big
honcho.
kahuna, the
big
dickweed.
Yes, the big dick. Yes, so they contacted the dickweed, and they contacted him, and at that same evening they held an emergency session for all of the fraternity members as to how to address community members that were in the same presence as they were. Essentially, in other words, Tanya had schooled them.
Yes. The next night, it was tension, but it was quiet tension. They were being well behaved. You remember how I decided to break the ice?
Mm-hmm.
These boys, they were down in the lobby. There was a big table, like big island table with like some 16 seats around it. And all these boys, they had this giant trophy cup full of mixed alcohol. And they were taking like these little ladles full out of it, and they were drinking it, and they were getting drunk because, hey, we were getting drunk when in college, you know. And I watched this, and I just watched it from a distance. And I kind of walked up and was, you know, and they noticed I was there, and they stopped and they looked at me, and I looked at them. I was like, excuse me. Amateurs. And for some reason, we were best of friends at that point.
Of course.
And I went, actually, no, I didn't.
What did you do after that? I don't think that night
No,
was
when I just threw up, of course.
Yes, of course. I don't know what they
No,
did.
I spent about the next hour. They kind of warmed up to us after that.
I mean,
Sometimes it takes a grandfatherly old man. But if you can't find that, an old drunk like me would help.
yes, you couldn't find that at a furry convention, but what you can find at furry conventions, especially those south of the Canadian border, are... Wait,
Yes, we're saying.
yes, those that you can find south of the Canadian border are those that are willing to challenge entire fraternities to drinking contests. I don't know if you were there when that happened. I think that same evening.
I might have been. I'm having difficulty remembering.
Because essentially that same evening, or rather the evening after the incident,
Old-timers.
Old-timers, yes. As Kage was saying, well, after that we slowly became the best of friends. Although not in the most conventional of ways, In fact, this story came directly from the convention operations team that was present that evening. Because all was quiet, all was still within the night, the dances were going on, except it didn't quite sound like the dances. In fact, it sounded more like a chant that you would hear in March Madness opening day. So one of the convention operations people, a little concerned about the noise that was coming from the lobby, got out of their chair, started moseying about towards the staircase and the escalator, made their way down, but they didn't have to before they beheld the sight of that same island table, about as long as the stage essentially, surrounded with one half frat boys and the other half fursuiters. And they were going neck to neck, head to head in drinking competitions against fursuiters. And guess what? The fursuiters were kicking their asses.
It was so cute.
And I still remember the ringing in my ears when I watched that fiasco. And for the children of the room, I apologize, although, well, technically it's well past that.
No, they're paying for it. We'll give them whatever they want.
Oh, yes, that's true. What was the chant that we heard? It was something along the lines of, chomp, motherfucker, chomp. And the furries kept on knocking it back, and they passed it down. It was a bucket line. It was a bucket brigade, essentially, and the next furry had their pint, slammed the glass, and passed the next one on, and it kept on going and going until the frat boys started falling one by one, and the fursuiters standing there victorious, looking at them, were like, oh, you guys are a bunch of sissies, and you thought we were the ones that weren't cool. You guys can't even hold a drink. And the poor convention operations staff that was there, I believe actually it may have been pandas. For those of you that do not know pandas, he is literally the walking epitome of a Canadian.
Yes, he is the most Canadian man I have ever met. I'm sorry.
Yes, more so than Tim Hortons. And, well, look at what we're
He's a tidbit, let's face
He's
it.
a tidbit. He is a walking he's rather a rolling tidbit, but I love the man enough to say.
No.
And he was essentially watching the entire thing. His jaw dropped to the ground, never to be found again. And he looked over to the hotel concierge, which was just over there, and they were looking at him like, what was going on? And he looked over at them, and he gave the silent shrug of, what the fuck? And they looked back at him.
Now, here's the advantage we had. You see, if you've got a fursuiter who's drinking, turn to the face of the crowd, and you've got a person next to him, this fursuiter could be passed out totally drunk, but you wouldn't know it.
It would be the cutest. I mean, the fiercest. No, it would not be the cutest in my case.
Were you at the bar at Indie FurCon this past year?
Of course. What else?
No. Okay, this particular incident I was talking about.
Which
A
one?
young person, you know, Uncle Kage, I'm a big fan. I'm like, oh yes, of course you're a big fan. I'm wonderful. And we got on the topic of Eurofurence. And the young fan said, do you speak German?
Ah, yes, I remember.
I said, actually, I learned all my German from going to Eurofurence. I know how to say Wein. I know how to say Weißwein. I know how to say Geben Sie mir Weißwein. I know how to say Geben Sie mir Weißwein jetzt. I know how to say Geben Sie mir Weißwein jetzt, bitch. And he laughed. Ah, that's funny. The bartender came up and said, what did you say to me? She gave it a monocle glare.
Yes, of course. And then she leaned in close to you and she said, Popistisch.
She did. Popistisch.
Yes, Popistisch. For those of you that do not
Look
know
it
what
up.
that means, well...
It means go away.
Yes, it means in a very polite German
Yeah,
way...
shove off.
Yes, to shove off, to sod off your hose.
Yeah, something like that.
Something along those lines, except if you go to Germany and do that, you might get shot.
Wait, it's Germany, not America.
Yeah.
Oh, right, it's Germany. I couldn't tell the difference after all.
No, they'll tie you up and put you in a Rammstein concert.
Oh, yes. That would be fitted with this year's theme, though. Oh, wait, we're not shining anyone up.
Would be.
No,
It's like you wake up all of a sudden, you're surrounded by fursuiters going, do. hast mich gefreit. Du hast mich gefreit.
I don't know why, but that would be the cutest deafening of my ears ever.
Can you imagine Rammstein dressed in like angel dragon suits?
I can imagine that, yeah.
I don't know why, but now I want a telephone here to do that.
Du hast mich gesqueakt.
Just endless squeaks, except you'd have to like baritone the squeaks down so it'd be like.
We could do that. We could sample telephone squeak and slow it down like 1,000 times.
I've had enough nightmares already. I don't need another one, especially from that creature sitting in the chair.
Oh, what?
What?
Isn't he adorable?
Oh, I'm sorry, but terrible memories. Again, we had to just sit through that monstrosity, which I shall not repeat. But
Okay.
what are you looking at?
There's a bunch of fursuiters gathering in a suspicious fashion back there like they're plotting something. I mean, looking, and they're kind of all clustered together,
They
whispering.
gathered in a circle over there. You see what we did? We got the carpet.
We did.
They're going to protest. Full fur is murder.
Something,
Thank you,
what is
thank you.
happening?
Yes.
Am I?
Is there any decaf left back there?
There's a lot of decaf left back there.
Is it still warm?
It is still
I mean,
warm. Yes, get some more warm decaf.
Do not drink, full. I learned this last year. Do not drink caffeinated Tim Hortons this late at night. You'll never sleep again.
Pretty much. Actually, does anyone remember what happened last year with our illuminary guest here, Uncle Kage? Well, not just at the charity auction, but of course his first day as a Canadian. He was so excited. I still remember when he and I were chatting about him appearing as a Canadian lumberjack. And what I find most endearing is that most of the people that could not recognize him and even passed a snide remark about him, the next day they were all like, "Oh, Uncle Kage, I'm your most favorite fan. I watch all your story hours, and I follow you all over Twitter, and I may creep you at night, and anyhow, these are the same people that, hello, I was not talking about you.
Who were you talking about?
I was talking about the fat lumberjack cosplayer that didn't look like a fat lumberjack cosplayer. I'm sorry.
Let me tell you something.
Oh, Philly accent on.
There is, we all know this is the real Tien Long, but there is actually a fursuit of this guy. And at a particular convention, we thought it would be funny if I were to put on the Tien Long fursuit and Tien Long were to put on my lab coat. And that lasted exactly 3 minutes, because what I started hearing was people saying, "Oh my God, Uncle Kage is losing weight, but Tien Long's getting fat."
It's okay, man. See, look how cute it is. I get to scratch Uncle Kage.
$20, by the way.
Oh, gosh darn it. I spent it on the decaf. Now you're going to help me do $20 to stop.
I thought this was
What
all
if I just
time.
poured the decaf back into the charity bag? Would that work?
No, they don't get the money all like icky.
It'll melt the Canadian stuff.
What is the melting point of that money? This is still pretty
I'm
warm.
not quite sure. It's monopoly money. I don't think this money exists on the periodic table.
Depends on how close to the flame you hold it.
I don't know. That's true.
Who's this guy, by the way?
Oh, that's Johnny.
No, Wilford Lawyer.
Oh, is that
Well,
Wilson?
this-
Oh, yeah. Johnny is on 10. This is a blue one. I can't see in this. The lights are glaring and blinding. It's not the squinty eyes.
Oh, okay, here we got. Okay, anybody seen Hamilton? Here he is.
Oh, yeah, Hamilton, yes. Do we have any Benjamin in
Show me-
there? I
show
would
me
be very
Ben
impressed
Franklin.
if Jeff.
I would show you Ben Franklin, but we don't seem to have any of him yet.
Yes, unfortunately. But that's not the thing. It's basically a bar of gold down here to have Ben Franklin.
Really?
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
Canadian money melted between 160 to 166 Celsius.
Okay, this coffee might be hot enough to melt.
Okay, that's true. Well,
I don't know how the hell they keep it that hot.
I don't know. This is Tim Hortons. Tim Hortons again. It's not a fast food chain. This is a lifestyle.
By the
Any
way,
Canadian would agree with that.
thank you. Speaking of Benjamin Franklin, he was an American, you know. I am very much in awe of Dr. Franklin. I've idolized him. Hey, you two, get a room, get a room. I've idolized him all my life. Mr. Franklin, or rather Dr. Franklin, I should say, said something that has stayed with me. It has often been misquoted, it has often been misattributed to other items, but I have seen the actual writing written in the hand of Dr. Franklin himself. He at one time, and I wish I had a glass here, once wrote that wine is constant proof that God loves us and wants us to be happy.
Yes.
I abide by that.
Yeah, that'd be someone that I've turned into a furry. I mean, the fact is, honestly, I'm pretty sure that everyone has a little bit of furry inside them. Imagine if Ben Franklin came to a furry convention.
He did.
Oh, really?
Benjamin Franklin came to Empericon 2002.
I stopped him.
Wow,
Yes.
I got nothing for that.
We were in Philadelphia at the time, and Philadelphia at the time had its own official Benjamin Franklin. And we invited him to come to Empericon. He looked the part, he sounded the part, he was fantastic. So Dr. Franklin was happily walking around the convention and having a good time. And he went into the dealer's room,
And then I stopped him.
and he went to Gideon's table. Now, at the time, Gideon had loose-leaf papers, you know, they didn't have CDs back then. And Dr. Franklin was going through, and he went, "Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear."
Now you have to switch that to George Takei.
And Gideon said, "Don't give me that, I've read about you." And Franklin said, "Yeah, okay, you got me, kid."
So you're telling me that at that point it turned into George Takei? Oh my.
You might not have known, Dr. Franklin was what we would today call a dirty old man.
Yes, it was the old man indeed. I believe that you also know a different way of saying that as well.
Humsapoo. Dr. Franklin also once wrote of the French. Now, I paraphrase, I should really learn the quote appropriately. But Dr. Franklin once wrote of the French that they are a most generous and wondrous people whose compassion knows no bounds. Should the French discover that one enjoys wine, one shall have wine. Should the French find that one enjoys mead, one shall have mead in abundance. It so happens that I enjoy women. And that's all he wrote. Do we have enough money? Do we have enough money?
What?
Do we have enough money?
I don't know.
I haven't counted it.
I can't count it right now.
I can't count it either. I had an American education.
You're just getting me to count it because I'm the Asian guy.
Well, yeah, being Asian, you're.
Well, I've got to now add 1.3 for the greenbacks, and now there's Canadian Tire money. Whoever threw that in?
Oh, stop it! Who put that in there?
Well, I mean, it is legal tender in Canada. Like, you could literally
How
go
much is in
and-
there again? Taking pictures, are you? All right.
You could probably...
You know, people beg for this on his Grumpy Street. Hello, how are you, Bunty? Hey.
Canadian Tire does sell doggy supplies.
Oh, yes. Canadian Tire.
What the what? Hello, what?
We're not...
That's the charity accepts it.
Really?
Yes, it is.
Oh, yes.
I said, fuck. Yeah, whatever. Okay, it's money. We'll take it. All right.
It's for the floor potatoes. That's Furnal Equinox's thing. It's for
It's
the
for the floor potatoes. Remember,
I should probably...
was anybody at opening ceremonies? You saw the floor potato? It's like, I'm a Greyhound. It's like, yay.
Yes.
Good watchdog there.
Yes, majestic as Mark. Yes.
Yes, majestic as a pillow.
Yes, majestic as a pillow can be for potato. Yes, they are part of the potato family, same as the turnips and the potatoes. But yes, like, I'm looking at the money in here, and it's like we have a little bit of. Oh, did you just say, oh my?
No.
Okay, I'll do it this way then.
I said tungsten dioxide.
We've got 1, 2,
OWO.
3, 4. You can almost buy a pack of Timbits with this money.
Okay,
Oh,
should we
that's
do
so
that
cool.
and just give the charity Timbits, or should we give them the money?
I don't know. You wouldn't know, Flo. Does the charity accept Timbits for their floor
Nope.
potatoes? They do not, unfortunately.
By the way, has anybody been enjoying this show who has not had the wherewithal to put anything into the bag here? Now, we're not going to call you out publicly. If you didn't, it's okay. The charity will be at their table tomorrow. We can take it on account. Thank you, miss. You can simply go to the charity table. Now, I'll be at the charity table a little bit tomorrow myself, for no other reason than that they're too polite to shoo me away when I show up.
And even then, it's also the signage that you make as well. What was it that you said? Being Asian, $20?
No, $10.
Oh, $10.
Yes, to walk by the
Did
table
you say
in
$10?
to walk by the table in an Asian state will cost you $10.
Did you just say $10?
Yes. To walk by the table in a non-Asian state is $15. Ow!
That's for the Tien joke.
That sound hollow, by the way.
Yes, but and for those of you that do not know about the charity as well, I did not say that. If you really want that experience, then go to Dimmy Hose. I guess you have that aspect of it. But if you would really like to know about the charity, I believe they have this really far out, super fancy, well perhaps not, but super exciting meet and greet tomorrow.
Oh, what time is that, Tien?
That would be 9 a.m. tomorrow in this very room.
Oh, in this very room?
In this very room, indeed. If you would like to come and see all of the floor potatoes and perhaps grow your own floor potatoes.
So you're saying that the charity will have a lot of dogs here for people to pet and cuddle tomorrow at 9 a.m.?
If you are into potatoes, I
For
would
a very mild donation.
ask for a very mild donation of how many timbits was it? I can't do the math, but each timbit is 29 cents. Was it 30? Oh, my tax. Oh, goodness. But yes, if you want to grow your own floor potatoes, or perhaps become one for a couple minutes with our floor potatoes, you're more than welcome here at 9 a.m. tomorrow.
If you can be awake.
Yes, if you can be awake, and I guarantee, especially with the nighttime activities starting up soon, with all the dance and spoons there, it will be quite difficult for people to stay responsible. I mean, they should be more like us and consume Tim Hortons, of course. Tim Hortons.
But make sure it's decaf or you'll be up forever.
Yes, of course. Yes, we have enough people running around already.
It says DD on it, it's a double-double, I guess.
The green place is open till 5 p.m.
I found it so amusing that I got to teach you the lingo of Tim Hortons as well.
I said I need a double-double, but I want decaf. So there's a big, like, box thing back here, and it's got 3 Ds on it.
So it's a 3D. Oh, 3D. He's trying to get that checked for you. But it was so amusing too when you went to Tim Hortons and ordered your first double-double. It's like a little graduation when you go and order your first double-double, isn't it? He was so good I even bought him a tidbit.
Yeah, I was practicing. I went up and I said, hey there, buddy, I'd like to have a double-double and a tidbit. I'm sorry.
Yes,
And he looked at me and said, I'm sorry, I do not understand what you are saying, so please say that in Hindu for me, please. That's my country, I'm sorry.
I was about to say, were you at the right Tim Hortons today? I thought I went with you.
Now that's the one in New York.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, see, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I want to let these fine folk know of the American standard of Canadian representation, also known as the most stereotypical Canadian songs that Americans love and cherish.
Oh, you mean like your national anthem?
Well, the national anthem would be one of them. Well, I know that the Americans have their own renditions. What does it sound like?
Actually, the American version of your national anthem, it's the same words for the first verse, everything else is ah. Oh, Canada, I love my land. from you so nice. And the things would happen in the woods with beavers, and there's other words I don't know. It's, what?
But yes, hand over the husband. Yes. Oh, business. Yes, very much so. Well, you was doing a wonderful job. Keep on. Carry on.
Oh, and
Yes, you must finish it. You
or
must
honestly, with your maple leaves and your hockey sticks, we stand in gold for thee. And there's more music. I wish Pandas was here, because he knows the words, and I don't think I do. Or maybe you should help me, please.
And the White House burn.
That's not part of it.
Well, I'm sorry, but isn't that part of the American vision of Canadian culture?
Is anybody familiar with the Arrogant Worms? It is an alternative national anthem.
Alternative. It's like the same alternative as alternative facts.
Yes. I'm trying to think the refrain begins, they're talking about Madison. Yes. In 1812, Madison was mad. He was the president, you know. He thought he'd tell the British where they ought to go. He thought he'd invade Canada. He thought that he was tough. Anybody knows it? Join me. So we went down to Washington and burned down all the stuff in the White House. Burn, 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 and we're the ones that did it. It burned, burned, burned. The president ran and cried. It burned, burned, burned. And things were very historical. And the Americans ran and cried like a bunch of little babies. Wah, wah, wah. In the War of 1812, they will not let me back into the country now. Oh, whoa. Oh, people are leaving. I think we're boring them. Oh, what time is it? Oh, we're almost done.
Almost done. Oh, goodness.
Okay, there is something in this room at next. What's next in this room?
It is at 9:30. It is the improv panel.
Who's on that? Wait, Uncle's not here. You can have an improv.
Oh, where about this? Where is the poor boy? I had told him. Potato dogs, yes. I had told him to arrive at this convention, but unfortunately he thought that since they didn't ask, Furnal Equinox didn't want him.
It is simply not an improv without a giant Jew in a top hat.
You mean a giant stalk of kale in a top hat?
Basically, yes.
Yes, a giant stalk of kale in a top hat that also happens to be Jewish.
But I discovered something. Did anybody, okay, you all know Alkali Man? You know
Oh,
when he was on my wine stream, he was in my house, he was sleeping on my guest bed, I discovered his secret. Inside that top hat is a second liver. It's true. He keeps a second liver in the top hat.
Pretty much, and as long as the top hat is there, it's literally a black hole that gets siphoned into, which is what explains why he, as well as you, is able to sober up in a snap of a moment.
Only when he gets angry.
Only when he gets angry. And trust me, you do not want to anger a tall, fat stalk of kale with a top hat.
You said that, I didn't.
Well, I'm sorry, Uncle. I'm sorry, Uncle. See, I'm not pandas now. I get to say I'm sorry, Uncle.
I need to learn that song. That one about the maple leaves and the hockey sticks standing on goal. I need to learn that.
You used to remix that. This guy remixes national anthems. Little tidbit of fact if you didn't know that. He remixes them. For example, did you not put Canada's national anthem with Singapore's melody once?
It goes well.
Yes, it does. Yeah. It actually, I don't know what we could do. We don't really
Anybody
have
from Singapore?
well, I am 1/8, so I don't know how that works.
Okay, we'll start. Rikitara, Yatsingapura, Sama, Hallelujah, Bahagia. It has furries in it. Chita, chita, kita, yamunia. There's a yellow sing a hoorah. Everybody now. Marila, kita, belsa tu. Dengan semangat yang baru. Semua kita berseru. Majulah Singapura, Majulah Singapura. Incidentally, by law, it has to be sung in Malay, which means 85% of the country has no idea what the national anthem is because only 15% speak Malay. It's like even more screwed up than you guys with your French and English here. It's great.
French and English. Well, I mean, the fact that, yeah, a lot of them do not consider themselves even part of Canada. And, well, of course, you know about that, don't you? How about the
Oh, that part over there on the right?
The part over there on the right. Exactly. A lot of them are all like, oh,
Okay,
you know.
we all know about that part. What about the part that's all the way on the right?
Oh, the part that's all the way over there, right?
I visited St. John's several years ago, and I could not understand a word that anybody said.
You're talking about the newfies.
I tried to get a taxi. Excuse me, I would like a taxi to come drive me somewhere, please. Yeah, that's good, buddy. Where you to? I want to go to the park. Yeah, that's fine, but where you to? Yes, that's right. Click. Hello. I did not understand a word until I went down to the harbor at the end of the day to watch the boats come in. St. John's is a beautiful, beautiful city, by the way. I love it. And I was watching the fishing boats come in, and one of them was coming in kind of hot. And I'm thinking, is he going to be able to slow down? He's coming up to the slip, and he's like going to parallel park between these two other fishing boats. And I was kind of stepping back saying, he doesn't look like he's slowing down. Well, that boat came in and just the bow just slammed into the stern of the boat ahead of it and knocked it forward about 20 feet. The master of that first boat came out, and him I understood, hey buddy, you fucking buddy, I'm gonna fuck. I understood that.
Say like you met New York Yanks inside St. John's? It makes sense now, actually. I mean, remember, you do have to remember, however, that a lot of the newfie culture is based off the Scottish culture as well.
Well, what I've discovered, I actually talked to a linguist. The Newfoundland accent is a mixture of Scottish, French, and Mars.
That actually explains a lot now. Thank you for that explanation.
Yeah. Because the old, that's the only thing. We actually did discover a civilization on Mars. We've only been able to decipher from the ancient writings a single word, and that's buddy.
So you're saying Canadians are from Mars?
No, Newfoundlanders. Newfoundland.
Newfies.
No, that's me.
Politically correct.
Is anybody here from Newfoundland? Is it okay to say Newfies? Okay, fine. Say whatever you want, right? St. John's, though, is a magnificent city. In fact, if you look on the internet, you will find a photo of Uncle Kage face down on the belly of a dead humpback whale floating in Mobile Bay. But we're out of time. I can't tell that story. So thank you all very much for coming tonight and for your donations to the wonderful floor potatoes. I'll tell you something. What's that?
Oh, you have another story.
You see, the thing that worries me about that photo, it's like, okay, it's Uncle Kage, 25 years ago, lying on the belly of a dead humpback whale, and I just know somewhere somebody's jerking off to that.
Are you saying that it's not on that
There's a drop-down opportunity for that, yes.
And with that, we thank you all for coming to our
Thank
show.
you.
If you would like to have your potatoes, they would be
As the charity liaison. What? How did it end with the Yankees? Major League Baseball never returned to the West End after that, for some strange reason. They couldn't handle us.
The guy just couldn't handle being told no.
Now, but once again, I want to thank you. We want to thank all of you. Your generosity has made possible the giving of money to help me. Let me start that again. Your generosity has made it possible for the charity to do the things they do. Remember, these are people that give up their lives to give voice to those who do not have voice. Bless all of you for what you have done.
Thank you once again for supporting After the Track Raw Potato Adoption. I mean, Greyhound Adoption. I apologize. Greyhound Adoption. They all do. I know. Once again, at 9:30, then, I'll be improv starting in this room, so we hope that you will join the wonderful hosts of improv for the evening.
That's what they sound like.
I'm going to fight you later.
Promise.
Look,